I record to the cloud. Okay, guys, thank you for hopping on Sunday Impact Zoom, my favorite night of the week. I love these Impact Zooms. Guys, when we have these Impact Zooms, I have them because hearing other people's story, one, it tells you how that person found Thrive. So if that person found Thrive like that, there are other people who need to find Thrive like that. It tells you their journey of being a promoter. Well, if they're here telling their story, they're obviously still here. Even if they go through ups and downs, they're still here. It may tell you what caught their attention, so it can help you build as a leader yourself on maybe ways or things you're not doing to reach out to people, to follow up with people, to show up online, to show up in person. So this is why I love Impact Zooms. It's more than just someone telling their story. It shows the journey of someone who enters this business, this company, Lavelle, which is a wonderful company and business to join, but it shows their journey, and it shows one, that we're all human. We all stumble across these products and fall in love, and that anybody can do this as long as they want to do this. So Mikayla, I'm just going to mute. I'm going to let you take it away. I'm really excited to hear you go deep tonight, because I know Mikayla's whole journey, and I know a lot of things that you guys all don't know, but I'm excited that she is willing to share that with you all tonight. So go on, Mikayla, take it away.
You. Oh,
I was trying to mute, and I just ruined that, but that's fine.
All right, thank you. Okay, so my journey started back in, well, I guess it officially started in 2019, but before that, Tommy and I got to know each other. I was part of another MLM company for 2 years, a health and wellness company, and Tommy ended up signing up with a 3-month membership thing. So I became his coach, which is so funny. I guess I was his promoter first. So I was his coach, and I was mainly focused on helping women get fit in their journey, but I was really bad at reach outs and talking to cold market. And so I was like, you know what, I might as well just email this guy for practice, see if he wants to join my boot camp, try the products out.
Cold message me.
Cold emailed you.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were muted. I said she cold messaged you.
Anyways, so I emailed him and he responded, and he was like, no, friend, I don't want to take your drinks that you guys are doing, but have you heard of Thrive? And I remember actually I was in the car with Jared, and I was sitting at a red light, and I was like, I showed Jared the text, and I was like, can you believe this guy right now coming into my court, trying to sell me his stuff? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to win this battle. It's fine. That's the competitive nature in me. So I was like, I'll just play along. It's fine. I'll win. And I was like, no, thanks. I'm happy with this stuff. Let me know, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, okay, cool. Well, can we be friends? And I was like, okay, now it's creepy. And so I ended up looking up Tommy on Facebook, and I was like, he has kids and a wife, check. I'm sure it's fine. So I was like, okay, still in the mindset that I'm going to be his coach, and he's going to join my team. And so I friend requested him. Over the next year and a half, he followed up with me, and it was not about Thrive all the time, because I thought Thrive was a weight loss. It was just for weight loss. I was happy where I was at. It was actually the first network marketing company that I had been with. My mom and dad have done Amway for 25 plus years. And so I've seen people go big with these businesses, but I don't like to do what other people do, AKA my parents. And so I wanted to try something else. So I had found that one. It wasn't working for me. I went 2 years and had only hit the first rank of that company. And so finally, after a year and a half, I had also gotten married during that time. gotten pregnant and then was 6 weeks postpartum, became a stay-at-home mom. And I was very unhappy with how I looked. My pregnancy was very hard on me, and we were in the doctors all the time. Tegan was late, and then she came out and she was colicky, and she's just never been easy. And so 6 weeks postpartum, I was also like, in becoming a stay-at-home mom, I've always been very independent with finances and just like having, I guess, that control in my life. And I didn't really think about that when I became a stay-at-home mom and giving up the income part and relying on Jared for everything. And that was a big mental struggle for me. It lasted about 6 weeks, and I was like, he was perfectly cool with me. Like, I don't know, I had a hard time like processing that I was like borrowing money, even though it was like our money. And I didn't like the fact that I was asking him, hey, can I go borrow, or can I use the card for $5 so I can get a coffee? Can I use the money for this? Like, it was just like so foreign to me. And so I was like, I'm making my own money. Like, it was to help make ends meet, but also like that was something that like I just needed so that I could have my own spending money. So 6 weeks postpartum, I started watching 3 other kids, a 1.5-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, and a 4-year-old, and my daughter, who was up from 9:45 p.m. Till 3 a.m. every single night, screaming until she was about 4 months old. She was very colicky, and I would start watching kids from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I did that. I quit doing that in January, and I had started this business in October of 2019. So for 4 months. And I was just, it was horrible, guys. It was horrible. So watching all those kids, and finally I saw something in Tommy's stories, and I was like, hey, 3-day mini experience. And I was like, you know what? He said something about energy or weight loss. And I was in such a bad mental place too, because I'd worked so hard for this body. During pregnancy, I gained 50 pounds. And then after I gave birth, I lost, I think it was 20 in the first 2 months. And then I was stuck. And I was like, they lied to me. They said breastfeeding would help me lose weight. It doesn't. I was exhausted, and I was just not myself. I was not confident. I didn't want to leave the house. I was just not mentally in my best state. And so, yeah, I jumped in with Lavelle, ended up jumping in with a promoter pack. That same conversation, I reached out to Tommy, and I was like, hey, okay, bro, you win. I'll try a 3-day mini experience. I'm done playing hard to get. Like, this is just, I'm done. And so he's like, well, you could do a 3-day for $25, or you could do a whole month for $150. And I was doing the math, and being a red personality later in life to find out, very money driven, I was like, gosh dang it. Okay, I'm going to do a month. And then he's like, oh, BT dubs, there's also these rank advancement bonuses out right now. And I was like, dang it. So I was like, might as well be a promoter and get the best bang for my buck and run for these bonuses. So I really jumped all in. I actually don't advise this, but the money that I had with the company that I had worked in a lumberyard for 7 years, and the money in my 401k, it wasn't like a crazy amount. So I ended up pulling it out, and I used the 401k money, part of it, to pay for my promoter pack, which I thought Jared was on board with when he said, yeah, you can totally try this. You know, if it's something you want to do. He's always been really supportive. And me being the typical female, I was like, well, you're doing it with me. And so I ended up buying a promoter pack with that money, later to find out that he was like, he came home and he was like, actually, I think it's probably a good time if we just like sit back and we wait. And I was like, well, I already did it. And he's like, all right. So I feel like that was kind of my motivation day one too, is like he had watched me with this other health and wellness company, this other MLM business, take up so much family time, and I was working all the time, but I wasn't getting anywhere with it. It was costing us more money in like business fees every single month, in buying for my product every single month, and I wasn't getting anywhere with it. And it was taking a lot of good quality time from my family. And so jumping in with this promoter one and knowing, you know, MLMs, like if you work them, they can work. I was like, I can't start this one and not have it work. I can't waste another 2 years and take time away from my family when all I've ever wanted to be is a stay-at-home mom. So I feel like that was my why and my driving force at first. I wanted the extra spending money. There was these awesome bonuses, but one, I couldn't not make it work. And I had to prove Jared wrong that I was going to make this one work, or prove myself wrong, I guess. And so when I signed up, I hadn't even tried the product before. I got the couples pack. Tommy and Q helped out with the FTs for me and Jared to get started. And I ended up hitting my VIP 800, I think probably on the very last day. Tommy and Q, I believe, were laying in bed and they're like, hello, where are you? And I was FaceTiming them and I was just like, very last minute, hit my VIP 800. Jared became a promoter, whether he liked it or not, but because it was free, he became a promoter. I ended up turning around and hitting his VIP 800 also. And then it was 3 weeks and it just came up on my memory. But 3 weeks, Halloween night, I ended up going 4K and hitting rank advancement bonus. I want to actually rewind a little bit because I think it was the first weekend or something like that. Paul had a call and it was all the way to 4K. And Tommy was like, you know what? I don't normally like tell all brand new people to hop on stuff, but you've been in this before. You're asking all the questions. Go ahead and hop on. I think it would benefit you. So I actually have it on my vision board right here. It says all the way to 4K, and it will always stay on my vision board because it's all the notes I took. And I put all the way to 4K 2020 because my goal with this business was if I could hit one rank in the company, if that was my previous one in 2 years, I'm going to have that. And I didn't even know what 4K meant. I was just like, okay, the first rank of the company in 2020, and I'm doing awesome. Well, then I ended up hitting it within my first month. And I was like, okay, now what? Like that just screwed up my whole plan for 2020. So I was like, oh my gosh, not only did I hit our VIP bonuses, I got the iPad mini bonus, which is now the Maui gyms, and I hit a 4K rank advancement bonus. And I went from wanting some money to get coffee and to have some extra little spending cash to like, we didn't have to charge anything on, I mean, that was like right before the holidays, guys. Like we didn't have to charge anything on cards. That was like Christmas money. That was like, I was able to put gas in my own, like that was taking some of the relief off of Jared going from 2 incomes to 1. And I was just like mind blown. And I was like, I think this could actually be something more than what I thought it could be. During that time frame, it was Christmas. I ended up getting diagnosed with really like bad postpartum anxiety and depression. And that 4th trimester is no joke, guys. Your hormones mess with you. I will also say that when I started thriving, I only did 1 capsule, half a shake, and a regular patch for probably the first 4-ish, 5 months. And I got amazing results on just half doses. So I was super excited to see what like full doses would be like. But come December and knowing that having a brand new baby and I was going to have to be around, Jared has a super big family, and it just like scared me that my baby was going to be touched by so many different people. I didn't know if they were washing their hands. I didn't want them kissing up on her. And it was just really hard to function outside the house. Somebody had recommended to me actually to try 1.5 Black Label. And I knew that before I had gotten pregnant, I was on antidepressants for mood swings around my periods, TMI, and I had really, really bad withdrawals, like coming off of those. And I knew I wanted to be completely off meds during my pregnancy, just as a personal choice. And it was such a struggle coming off of those that I knew I never, ever wanted to get back on them. And nursing for so long, because Keegan would not take a bottle, I was like, I don't want to. And so I was really struggling. After I hit 4K is when the holidays came around, and I still was getting that bonus, but my business kind of plateaued, and I went through a big mental struggle. I had a lot of phone calls with Q where I was bawling my eyes out. Things were stuck. I was just in a really bad mental space. And then another mama had recommended 1.5 Black Labels. And I will just say that was the key thing for me. A lot of staying plugged into this community, a lot of really reaching out to my upline for those one-on-one phone calls, and 1.5 Black Labels. And I was able to pull through the holidays without getting back on my antidepressant medication. And that was like such a big win for me. Thrive really, really made a huge impact in that. And I think one of the hidden gems, like when I started this business, it was for money. I hadn't tried the product. And what I didn't realize that I really needed, and looking back, I would always roll my eyes when Jared would make little like comments. We have a very sarcastic relationship, and it's a lot of fun, but it's so funny because I've had people listen in to like our conversations, and they're just like, I can't tell if you guys are actually like angry at each other or like mean towards each other, or you're joking. And I'm like, it's all joking. It's a lot of fun. So anyways, he would be like, talking about how I didn't have like a lot of friends. I didn't have any friends. I didn't like to go out in public. Whenever I would, and me and him were dating, like, and I remember being in a subway and somebody was like, oh my gosh, that's a cute nose ring. My face went so blotchy red, like I couldn't make eye contact. I couldn't go out in public. Like it was so bad. I had so much jealousy. Like I didn't like to go to the grocery store with Jared because I thought he was like, I had to go down the aisles that other females weren't. Like I just came from such a horrible relationship before him. And so the community and the personal development that comes with this company or this team, and why we like preach on personal development so much, it really transformed my mindset and staying plugged in. Like it changed so many things. So anyways, 4K, made it through the holidays. February, another crying phone call with Q. It was the beginning of February, and I was like, this sucks. Like, why am I sampling so much? Why is my business going nowhere? I've been sitting at 4K for a while. Like, I just was feeling mentally down, and I was like, the struggle hit, guys. You know how they say 90 days in and the work really starts. I was trying to do this business all by myself. I called Q, and I had just dropped off a sample, and I was like, dude, all my samplers are like not enjoying their 3 days. Like I kept on pulling people in to solve the problem or to fix the problem after there was a problem, instead of starting a 3-way up beforehand. And she goes, you need to start putting everybody, like get over yourself and put everybody in a 3-way. Like, I don't understand why you're having a hard time realizing that. And I was like, okay. And from that decision at the beginning of February, I quit letting my customers run my business for me. I stepped out of my comfort zone, and it was uncomfortable to for me, but guess what? My customers didn't know it was uncomfortable for me. Like I just had that aha moment and something clicked. And I said, you know what? I'm sick of this. I don't care who you are, grandma's getting a 3-way. So I did that by the end of February. I think it was the 28th of February. And Tommy and Q were in, where was it? I can't remember where it was, but I was really upset. I missed that lifestyle getaway. And everybody's sitting at the pool and I hit 12K. And I FaceTime with everybody. I was actually, oh my gosh, guys, this is embarrassing. I don't think anybody knows this. I had my sister break into my house because we were at a baseball tournament, like way far away from home. And I had my sister, I was like, I'm close to hitting 12K. I need you to break into my house and grab this card and blah, blah, blah. And so ended up hitting 12K. And at that moment, that was like such a big moment for me, because I was like, it just proved that our system worked. If you follow it and you quit trying to do stuff by yourself and you quit trying to reinvent the wheel, it works. It just does. And you just got to keep it simple. And so after that, it was like 3 months later, my team was exploding. We hit 40K. I personally wasn't ready for 40K. I was still going through a lot of personal development, and we hit 40K once and then we lost it. And there was a lot of team that fell off. And you just go through this whole thing of like, what am I doing wrong? Why isn't it working? And you think it's all yourself or stuff that you're not doing. Really, we grew so fast after that, and it just wasn't the right time. And then we go through that year, we stay kind of stagnant below. I had never gone below 12K. When I did hit 12K, me and Jared had an agreement that we would wait 3 months and then go pick out a luxury vehicle. And to me, hitting these different ranks was just mind blowing, because coming from another company, you had to be really far up there in order to be getting the lifestyle getaways, in order to be getting the car and all those things. And so knowing that I had that access with the second rank, 4 months, my goal of 2020 was to hit the first rank, and in 4 months I could get a luxury vehicle. Like, my mind was blown. So we made this agreement, and I was like, okay, well, if we're not going to get one right now, let's see if we can, like, I'm going to, keep going up. And on that 3rd month, I called Jared and he was at work, and I was like, hey, and he's like, what? And I'm like, I hit 12K. And he's like, so? I was like, you know what that means. And he's like, so? And I'm like, we're getting a car. So anyways, it was super exciting. Tommy was trying to talk me into an Escalade the entire time. And I will say that was another key thing that I learned. I still have that damn Escalade on my vision board from when he told me to put it up there, because he's like, I could see you driving an Escalade. Guys, go after what you want, okay? Don't listen to your upline when it comes to their visions for you. Find your own visions. So anyways, I was like, no, like, I want a truck. And so anyways, we go into the dealership and I see this big, beautiful black truck. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so big. And I had to have Jared drive it off the lot because I thought I was going to crash it. It was like so daunting to me. But as soon as I pulled up, I knew it was the one. And it just felt so good and so right. He drove it home for me. And then from that minute of like getting our luxury vehicle though, guys, like, my business went like this again. Like, people were all of a sudden like kind of turning their heads, because 1, it shows your team that you're serious about this and you're not going anywhere. And 2, like, to see that vehicle there, it was just so surreal that like I was finally doing it. I was finally making an MLM company work for me. I had this vision that I could make maybe a couple $100 a month, but it was only the people in magazines or the popular girls from high school or somebody like that that was going to actually make it with these companies. And I was not any of that. And so for me to actually start succeeding at a company like this, at a business like this, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is freaking amazing. And so we ended up sitting at a 40K rank though after that. Drove my luxury vehicle, never lost that. And then 2021 January, rank advancement bonus time. I decided, I was very nervous actually. And because I had hit 40K, my next step was 80K. And January, and actually, yeah, I'll go back to it, but January of 2021, I was probably sitting at finishing between 20 and 30K each month. I had worked Jared up to a 4K. And so, no, I didn't. He had never been a 4K actually. I was working my account and then I was making sure he was thriving for free is how I was working him. And January came and I had to hit 4K on his to get that rank advancement bonus. And I had to hit 80K on mine. And I was like, shit, man. Okay. So I went into it feeling like, I don't know if I can do this. I have a lot of girls under me who are wanting and who are capable of rank advancement. And I, instead of focusing on my 80K that I was having doubts about, my mindset was like, red alert, override bonus. I'm going to see how many of my girls I can get to hit their rank advancement bonuses. And that's just where I'm going to make my money. So January came around and I enrolled a lot of promoters and we hit the ground running. And it was in February, Jared went 4K. Was it? I think so. March, he went 12K. And March is when I re-ranked at a 40K. And at the end of March, we were on a Zoom. And I was like, you know what? This could actually happen. And you know how they say burn the boat back or whatever it says? I'm not good with words, guys. So get rid of plan B is what I did. And I was like, it's happening. You know why? Because Q and Tommy had just both hit 200K, but I was on a planning Zoom where at the beginning of March, I think it was, Q was like 3 weeks in and she made some comment about how, no, I'm doing this and this, and everybody rolled their eyes and then she did it. And I was like, okay, I don't know why that hit me so hard, but I was like, okay, so why can't I do it? And so I started out April and I told Q, I said, I'm doing it. And she was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, like I'm doing it. Like I knew 100% that I was going to do it. And I didn't once think that I wasn't going to. And we went from 40K to 80K in 1 month. And we went 80K on mine. And then Jared went 40K that same month on his. And I will just say another big driving force too was I had a conversation with Trey ahead of time back in January. And I said, look, bro, what do you want on your vision board? Like, what do you want me to put as one of your goals? Or what are your goals that you want me to put on my vision board? Because I'm about to pull in a lot of time away from this family. Yes, Trayson is my son. I forget that huge part of my journey every single time, and I don't know why. I have Tegan, who's my 2-year-old daughter now. I have Trayson, who is my he'll be 14-year-old stepson next month. And I am 24 weeks pregnant, so that's exciting also. But he put a dirt bike on my vision board. And that was something where it was just like, how could I take all this time away from our family time and not hit my goal in April? What was that showing him? And so in April, I was like, now that I feel it and I know it's possible, and I believe 100%, like it has to work, because this is a huge thing for your kids to be watching too. When you say you're going to do stuff and you put all that time into it and you hit it, what is it showing them? Like, what do we always talk to them about? I got to walk the talk. That's what it is. I got to walk the talk also. Guys, I can't with you. And so we did it, and we were in Thrive-A-Palooza when it happened. And I have like this really awkward where it's like, my body can't figure out if it wants to laugh or cry at the same time. So it makes a lot of like awkward noises. But when I hit that in Thrive-A-Palooza, I was like, I think I was stunned for the whole weekend. Like, I was not myself. It was just so many emotions, but it was amazing to do that with all your friends around you. Jared was there, and it was just crazy. So, I will say, I kind of wrote notes too. When I had gone 40K, guys, something that I think we do a lot is we look from side to side too. And I did go through a big part of my beginning journey with this company in comparison mode. I had found myself really like envying somebody who was also had kind of started the same time as me, had a really good body that I had lost, was comparing my journey to hers. I was actually really pissed that when I hit 12K in February, she hit 12K the day after me. And I was like, I can't even do one thing without her stealing the spotlight. Like, and she, whatever, not going to go down there. Obviously, I'm over it. No, I'm just kidding. But that was a big turning point in my business. Like, that's something that I mentally had to grow out of and do a lot of personal development. I can't just keep on comparing my journey to somebody else's and expect to get anywhere. And that was the thing that slowed my business down, is because when we kept going up, every time I would compare my journey to hers, I was taking that time out of my journey. Like, it was taking away from mine. Why was it not good enough? You never know somebody else's circumstances. Like, she had a huge following. I started with no following. When I started with this company, I was not posting consistently. Tommy wrote a lot of my posts. Like, I really leaned into my upline. I did not have a big following. I thought that coming from another company, I was going to be that girl that was like, oh, here she is, dropping one, starting another. Let's see how long it's going to take for her to drop this one too. And that really got in my head. And so you really have to get out of your own way. And you know what it took me doing? I had to unfollow her. And I had to really focus on myself. And guys, it's okay to unfollow people. It's okay to, like, you need to do that. You're never going to grow and get out of that mental headspace if you don't stop looking side to side and everywhere else. And so when I grew myself enough and stopped comparing my journey is when the timing hit. And I look back and I was mentally ready to get a brand new team under me in January and help all of them hit their goals and really focus on my team. And that's when so much growth happened. I think that was kind of going through what I had for business wise, unless you had any other.
Did Trey get the dirt bike? Somebody asked, did he get a dirt bike?
Well, In a roundabout way, yes. He was looking for him at him for a while. Jared has an old dirt bike. We just need to get it up and running. So that became Trey's. But something I was able to do also with this 80K bonus is I did take my team on vacation to Arizona for a weekend. As a thank you. That was so much fun. Rented a house in Arizona, got to spoil them. And we just hung out. So
She's laughing. Does anybody have any questions for Mikayla? Anybody?
Yes.
Okay, Chris.
Mikayla, how did you recruit all those promoters in the beginning? I think it was February. You said I think it was February. Is that right?
this year for rank advancement bonus.
Yeah, like what was your method behind that?
We had weekly opportunity Zooms, and I always made sure I had somebody on that. I burned the boat back, or whatever you say. I talked about the business a lot. I shared that opportunity, and I also, something that I don't know why I forget to mention this too, but guys, you're like, okay, Amber Bird was one of those people in January who was on an opportunity Zoom. She had been a customer of mine for probably 7 or 8 months. What kept her a customer was my customer retention skills. And you know what? During that time when I hit 40K and I lost it, I focused on my own business, and what could I control was my customer retention. My thank you notes that went out after somebody purchased. Yes, Auto Elite also was, yes. Sending out like plus line packs, always checking in with them. Guys, you can't afford to not have that $150 customer service that they purchase when they sign up with you. That is what is going to create that residual volume for your own business. One of my goals, non-negotiable, I am holding at least my own 4K rank per month. I always want to be at the head of my team. So that is my own competition, is my own team. And of course, if they're winning, I'm winning. But like, I always want to have the most free accounts. I always want to have the highest PPA. And it's not like I talk to them about that and I'm like constantly showing them, but that's how I know that I am remaining a leader, and how I'm leading from the front is by always growing my own business. So when you work on and making sure that your customers are thriving for free and that they have that customer support, you're going to have your happiest customers turn into your longest, most successful promoters. Like, so in January, I made sure that all of my customers that had been thriving and loving it, they knew about the opportunity. And so they were on those opportunity Zooms that happened every single weekend, and they ended up flipping. And then I made sure that, I want to say almost all of them, maybe all of them, hit their VIP 800s. If you can have them hit their VIP 800s, and then when they feel stuck in their business, like they know how they're just overthinking it. They're not keeping it simple. Like, we know how to do this business. It's just your VIP 800 over and over and over and over again. So you got to bring it back to that. And so, yeah, that way, when my customer, I never push anybody to be a promoter. I have a very heavy customer base. And what did that do? When I hit my 40K and re-ranked, I was instantly Auto Elite that same month I re-ranked. And that was that's probably one of my proudest things that I can say is I might not be a 200K, but I hit Auto Elite and I've never lost that 1 month. And that was like boss mode, getting my bag, walking into Georgia. And I guess like Q didn't even know I had got the Auto Elite bag. And she's like, wait, what? Go back out through the door. I got to record you coming in. Oh my gosh. I thought I was going to get bugged in the airport too. So I had my Gucci slides in my bag and I had to take them out. And like, it was the whole thing. Anyways.
You
I'm
poor,
just like small.
you poor Washington State girl.
I'm just so small time. I feel so weird wearing this stuff out in public. Like,
Oh, everybody out here wears that stuff.
oh my
This is
goodness.
Atlanta.
But yeah.
Megan has a question.
Yes.
Hey, so what do you do for your self-growth and development? You talked a lot about like feeling jealous of the other girl, but what did you do to pull yourself out of that?
I basically
Get yelled at by me.
Okay. This is my time cue. Can I have a mute button, please? So yes, I'll start with that part then. Find an upline or somebody who doesn't take excuses. They listen to you. They listen to your problems, and then they turn it around and they basically, I don't know, like Q was my person I had on the phone all the time when I was struggling and stuff like that. And she was just like, would pull me out of it. I listened to podcasts on steroids. Like I was deep in finding somebody that I connected with. And I was just like one after the other, like in the shower, doing dishes, like everything. Like I just had to unfollow those people. And then I just stayed plugged into everything that was serving me. If I felt some type of way when I left those things that wasn't like leveling me up, and I had to take a break from it. I had to do what worked for me in that moment to get past that. So that's kind of what I did. Finding that person that doesn't let you hold on to excuses and shit like that. You got to stay plugged in with them every single day. And I think that was my thing, is like the chat that I had that said 4K, VIP 800, 4K, like that chat moved up with me. And it has me, Q, and Tommy in it. And I still use that one. I would say not every single day like I used to, but man, I was in there. I asked every single question. I never felt, I might feel like I was overbearing and like I was asking too much, guys, but now look, I can say that I'm successful in so many areas because I never didn't ask the question. To the point where they're like, Mikayla, you need to have confidence, quit second guessing yourself. You know how to do this. But yeah.
What's your chat say now? What's the title of the chat, Mikayla?
I need to get it right, Q. You know how my memory. Yeah, road to 200K.
Road to 200K.
Road to 200K with a date on it that I might need to change. But
No, we don't change dates.
We don't change dates.
Until the date passes.
Yes.
And then we have to change it. Does anybody else have any questions? Mikayla, do you have like a favorite podcast? Do you have a favorite book?
I am obsessed with Katie Coberline. She had done an impact Zoom for us. That's how I heard about her. She has a podcast. I fell in love with it. Purposely Driven, Brittany Hernandez is another one of my favorites right now. And I just recently found one called Do Your Crap. That one I really liked. And as far as I'm really, honestly, guys, I don't read books physically. So I would say for personal development right now, that's been a big help in my life, is I actually have been leading and doing Bible study stuff. So that is my physical book for personal development in this chapter of my life. And then for business, I keep it all podcasts.
Can you just talk a little bit about, because I know at one time you really struggled with the balance of like house and home life and work life. Can you just talk a little bit about how you found that balance for you? Because everybody knows there's no perfect balance in that. Can you talk about how you found that balance for you?
Honestly, I think there was a lot of moments where you feel overwhelmed, because especially having younger kids, and as they're getting a little bit older, it was different when Tegan was an infant, for me to be on my phone all the time. But now that I can totally tell when she's jealous and she acts out because mommy's on her phone. So it's just going through those different phases with your kids. And I was listening to an Impact Zoom, again, why we hop on these, and something really resonated with somebody who was talking, and they said, like, I guess for me, I don't want my kid to always be seeing me behind my phone. And so I was like, I need to start making my time, like being very, very super intentional with my time, because I don't want her to just always be seeing mommy behind her phone. And we do this so that we have more time with our families. And that doesn't mean just me sitting on the couch while she has a movie playing and I'm working my business from my phone. Sometimes it does, but that's me waking up early. I was hopping on the 6 a.m. work with me Zooms, and it was perfect because I would get an hour and a half of work in before she woke up. So when she wakes up, that's my time to be with her, eat breakfast. I put the phone away. I then tidy the house up for a good hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on basically what time of the month it is. End of the month, it's more housework. And then I do stuff with her. And then when she goes down, I'm very blessed and she takes almost a 3-hour nap. So that's when I do a whole nother section of work. By doing all the IPAs in the very beginning of the day, I don't have to really focus on anything but like keeping up with chats throughout the day. And so I use her nap time. And then when she gets up, I'm normally running Trey around, and every day is pretty busy. And then I really make it intentional to have dinner with my family a lot of the nights, because we're Pacific Standard Time, West Coast. A lot of the Zooms are actually right during our dinner times. So I'm still on those. I'm normally cooking dinner during that time, but I still find it very important for myself to hop on those as much as I can. And then normally at night, I'm a very big pen and paper type person. So I make all my lists for the next day. If I don't have that list, I am not going to be very intentional with my morning activities, because then I'm spending my entire morning trying to figure out what I'm doing for that day. So I plan my whole day out and what I need to get done the night before. And I set my my post up and put it in drafts the night before for the next morning, because mornings are really crazy and they're unpredictable sometimes. So I've just had to really figure out how to be intentional with my time so that I can still be present with my daughter during the day and intentional.
Was 3 Ways the only IPA that helped you grow your team?
No. Like income producing.
Shamika, do you want to ask exactly what your question is?
Yes, like doing all the things, the reach outs, the follow up, the posts, being plugged in. When you're doing all the things, what do you feel helped you kind of move from 4K where you were stuck to that next level?
So it's different then for how it is now. So when I was 4K to 12K, I didn't have like any promoters under me. I didn't have a team. So it was different. It was me focusing purely on my own business. and just getting a lot of customers. And so, yeah, I did focus all of it on 3 ways and what I could do for my customers, because I didn't have any promoters under me during that time. I would say it still actually kind of doesn't change. I mean, this last month, I feel like I went back to the basics and I really focused again on my own business. And I did a lot of new reach outs. I did 10 times the amount of follow-ups and sampling, and got back up at a high PPA again, and really focused on my own business. One of my main goals is by the 15th of every month, I have to have all of my personal stuff checked off, so that the second half of the month I can then focus on my team's goals without the last couple days struggling to get my free accounts or my personal volume or something like that. So, so a reach out to me, I do a lot of stuff in stories, only because if I reach out and I actually ask a question that leads to a conversation, knowing that I can immediately hit their messenger inbox, is how I'm able to do that. So I will say that those power hours are full of good tips, and that's where I do basically all my reach outs for the day. The other thing is, like, when I get somebody that says yes to a sample, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, it would be so much fun is if I mailed you a 3-day mini experience and you got to do it with 2 of your friends at the same time. And so I am sending out 3 3-day mini experiences off of 1 reach out that said yes. And so I really have always tried to work through my network and have it work for me instead of trying to do it all by myself. I guess that's kind of the shortcuts that I take, is I try to work smarter in my business, not harder, and how I can reach more people through doing 1 action. So.
Okay, Mikayla. So, last question. Have you had a moment in this business where you said to yourself, you cannot believe this is your life?
So I will say, when I started in 2019, and then 2020 is when COVID hit, and we didn't do any lifestyle getaways. The one that I had the opportunity to kind of go on, when I hit my 12K, that was the last one in February, and then we didn't have any more for the year. So I feel like this business, to me, like, it was cool. I got the vehicle, but I had still never met anybody in person before. Everybody was behind Zoom screen. And I still didn't get the vacations that I had really wanted. And so it was the following February when I actually got to go on my first lifestyle getaway. And I saw basically everybody for the very first time in one spot. And I could not wrap my head around the fact that I didn't have to pay for anything. And like, I took a teammate at the time, which was also really funny, because as Jared's dropping me and Vonda off at the airport, he was instantly like regretting his decision not to go. And so we ended up at, it was in Cabo, and we like walk through, we see everybody. And I think it was seeing everybody for the same, at the same time, or for the first time. And like, just making your dreams come true together, and then going up to our room and standing on a balcony and looking at everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm that person that I looked at in a magazine and was like, oh, I could never do that. I wasn't popular, like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm living that life now. Like, I think it was going up there, standing by a jacuzzi and like you know, the pictures that you always see of everybody on the lifestyle getaways, and they're like, oh, cool story, bro, but that's not me. Like, that was me. And I was only 12K, second rank of the company. And the entire time, like, Jeremiah was like giving me crap because we went to a fancy restaurant or we walked by one. And when we had gone in, I was like, Wanda, where's the prices? Like, I could not wrap my head around it. I was like, they didn't put prices on this menu and this shit looks expensive. And Jeremiah's like, low, all inclusive, like, it's okay. And at like during those like little moments, it's so big for a stay-at-home mom. Like, it's so those moments where as we grow in this business, we forget about it because it becomes a normal lifestyle for us. But it's those first moments for those people that have never experienced that before. And getting to watch those moments, like them hit it and their facial expressions and everything, like they're realizing that a normal person can do this and that it's obtainable. And I'll tell you, once you go on a lifestyle getaway, once you get to bring a team member on a lifestyle getaway, you have a thriver for life. Because every single time that they can experience more of this business and see that a normal stay-at-home mom can take their husband on 3 vacations a year and still have a family vacation where then they get 4 vacations for the price of 1. Like, I mean, that was mine. I'm like, I am that girl.
So before Vonda, I see you. Yes, you can chime in. Give me 1 second. First, I just want to ask Shanika, do you want to say anything to Mikayla? You've been a huge part of her journey and you just look so proud right now.
I am proud because I mean, Mikayla joined in, I want to say like 6 months, even maybe up to a year before I did. But there was a moment where we were pretty much in the same boat. There was a week where Q had did a challenge where we got to spend time with a leader per day for a week. And, you know, we got to ask them all the questions. We got to ask them what their daily life looked like. And I feel like that was like the week that like changed Mikayla's whole business, because every question that she had, she just like, she wrote it down and she asked the questions. And so I saw her like transform to the point where I was just like, hold on, B, like where, what did I miss? Because I didn't get the same fire that you just got. But it's instead of like comparing, I know that it can be done. I'm just like in a different part of my journey right now. But I am so proud because me and Mikayla we went through this business together pretty much, you know, and we're sister legs. And there was a part of our journey where me and Mikayla were doing, what was it, our Friday talks? Like we were just trying to like do our like own little thing on Facebook. Like we've tried it all. So I just love her. And I love seeing you on vacation and everything that you like went through and you spoke about today. Like I can totally relate as I hold my baby, you know, like it's a life-changing experience. And I don't think that anybody really understands until you get to walk through it and you go through those trenches and you go through those trials and you really like overcome them. Because it's so hard to explain. It's so hard to explain. But sister for life, girl.
And you get to see her Friday. Vonda was the team member that got to go on the vacay.
Yeah, Mikayla, just hearing you talk about Cabo and like the moments you were having, one, so thankful and so special that I got to come with you, like huge honor. But I just remember the one conversation that we were having in the airport, and you're gonna make me cry. But at that time, my twins were 6 months old. So leaving them was hard, but I just remember walking with Mikayla in the airport, like I'm a mom of 3 kids under 3. like, this doesn't happen to me. Like, I can't believe we're about to get on a plane. And just talking about like how something that seems so surreal is so possible. And it was so cool because in my head, I'm like, I just hit 4K in January and we got to go in February to Cabo. And it changed everything for me. It changed everything for my business because as soon as I went on that trip and I'm like, I'm going 12K, I'm doing it during my advancement bonus. It's happening because not only is it possible, it's like, I'm worthy of that and I deserve that and my team deserves that. And I qualified for my first getaway for Vegas. And it was because like you showed us that that was possible and that was tangible. Because like you said, you see people do it, but those are like people on the internet who have a huge following and are like super gorgeous and fit into their jeans right after they have a baby. So I just want to say thank you because I feel like you've been a part of my journey. I've been a part of your journey just as much as you've been a part of mine, and just seeing you hit all your goals inspires everyone else. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I will say find you a promoter like Vonda and take her on vacation because she will always make sure there's a margarita pizza room service ordered at 2 a.m. And I was like, Vonda, we don't need any more pizza. She goes, I don't get this at home.
It's free. It's free. That was nuts. 2 a.m. Yeah, I'm having pizza because it's free. I don't have to make it and I don't have to do dishes. It's happening.
And they bring it to you and take the dishes away. Guys, this is why we do this business. This is why these connections, this community, like, yeah, the product is great. The business is awesome. But I mean, the connections and community that we have is just, my heart. I can't. All right, guys, before I start crying, I love you, Mikayla. Your story was so good. I can't wait to see you Friday. Look, Shanika can't wait to see you Friday. Nico can't wait to see you Friday. I can't wait to see you. Katie and Chris can't wait to see you Friday. Yes, so can't wait to see you Friday. And I thank you because I mean, you taught me how to lead. You, Shanika, like you guys, this is not something that like I was a mom on the couch too. Everybody can do this business. You have to want it. You have to go after it. But I was a mom on the couch too. I was a mom that ran, off of 5 hours in coffees, just like everybody else who starts this product. We started for a reason, so I'm no different. And so all of you, everybody who is on our team, like you guys are teaching me as well. I'll always remain a student. And so you're all a part of my journey. Mikayla, I appreciate you so much. Thanks for jumping in. This was so good. So many good nuggets. It is recorded. Everybody in the comments are saying thank you to you, Mikayla. You might want to check that out. Maybe do a quick video so you can put it in your stories. Come on, quick. Get your phone. Get your phone and scroll, girl. Everybody's like, Mikayla, you're awesome, Mikayla. That's what I was doing during
Can you do this for me?
Super Saturday. I got you. Boo.
Thanks. I'm still learning. Never stop being a student, guys.
Okay,
Oh, man.
look at this. All right, guys. So we're going to record this up. I'm not even recording. So look at me. Let's go back again. All right. So I'm going to record this for Mikayla really quick so she can put it in her story because she did Impact Zoom, and I think she made a huge impact tonight.
I'm proud of you. Like, you
thanks.
guys, like, you've come a long way. Like, this person that you guys see tonight, when she first started, good Lord, she was not her.
Blotchy, all red and blotchy, always.
So to see you come this far and to be hosting, Impact Zoom is truly, I'm proud of you, and I cannot wait to see where you are a year from now.
Oh, thanks. Well,
but just so we're clear, you did start it, okay? I didn't ask for you to email me.
You know what? We're not pointing fingers, Tommy.
Okay.
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 No, the last thing I will say to you guys that really helped me, never say no to an upline when they give you an opportunity to grow. It was like 3 weeks in, Maria Dillard reached out, did an interview. I had never gone live in my life, but always do stuff that makes you uncomfortable. Tonight, being asked to do this, nervous, but excited because I know it takes me to that next level. Like whenever an upline tells you, hey, do this, or take that leap, or can you do this? Just always say yes without even thinking about it. Figure it out later because so much growth comes from all of it.
Boom.
All right, guys, smile. Oh, wait. Okay, smile. I was recording. Hey guys, I hope this put some fire in you. Like Paul would say, have an aggressive week. Bye.
Mikayla.